The internet is a nice place for most of the times, and you can find cool stuff around here. I thought I would look at some things I found or refound and just give you my thoughts on them. First thing we are looking at is Dinosaur Boy. It describes itself as a gritty animated web series about a man who gets the superpower to turn into a dinosaur after an unfortunate accident. Will he be the hero the city deserves? Will he find true love? Will a man who is unable to tell his wife and children that he loves them be able to be vulnerable in his emotions? Is turning into a dinosaur even a decent superpower? Dinosaur Boy is a semi-animated pseudo-comic book independently produced web series powered solely by the power of friendship and existential terror. Yep, I think that's an accurate description of what it is. It reminds me of the Marvel Knights series, which is basically comics with minimalistic movement and voice acting and sound effects. When I saw the Marvel Knights for the first time, I couldn't get into it because my brain wasn't used to the whole thing, but it grew on me, and I'm glad that I watched the Inhumans series. If you watch the Inhumans TV series, then I would recommend the Marvel Knights Inhumans, because this one is a billion times better than the TV series. Anyways, Dinosaur Boy is pretty good. For a small team, it seems polished. Sure, the panels are a little rough, sometimes stuff just looks weird, the characters are awkward, but I guess that's supposed to be like that. The main character just seems to be your friendly neighborhood psychopath, and the story ends on a cliffhanger. But I enjoyed the 30 minutes of pure insanity that is Dinosaur Boy. I hope they continue working on that, but I think there isn't enough people interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, we will see. Next thing is a FullMiddle Malcomist. Yeah, you heard correctly. This one is actually a little bit older because it is from 2018 and is the Malcolm in the Middle intro in anime style. The thing is that I don't know where I found it. I just know that I found it and thought it was on YouTube, but the original is from someone called Mikhail and is actually just on Twitter. You should check the original version out. I linked everything in the description. There is something similar by Narmak Animation, which is the Spongebob anime openings. I don't know how many times I watched that, but it's so good. I wish there was a real version of the Spongebob anime opening. The game Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom is coming back, so maybe the guys could work something out, you know? I remember that the game had a theater, and it would be pretty cool if the anime intros played in that theater. Well, that went in a direction I wasn't expecting, but anyways, next thing. One of my earliest videos is an interview with HL Nunnely, the creator of Vacant, which is a technical nightmare, she knows that, and as far as I know, she's working on a sequel. Anyways, there is a Vacant comic book, which is the main storyline for the games. You can check the whole thing online on Nunnely's webpage, and you should. For a solo comic book artist, it's pretty impressive, and I got hooked by the story. Now, I don't know if it ends on a cliffhanger because I don't have the physical copy of the comic book. However, I hope she works on something similar to Vacant, and I hope the next game turns out to be better. Here's my shameless self-plug, you should check out the interview. I was very nervous on that one, and if you want to get drunk, just drink every time I say but please don't drink yourself to death, I don't want to be responsible for that. You can also play this game on every other interview I made, just so you know. Since we're talking about games, let's talk about more games. Jacksmith is a browser game from Flipline Studios released, I assume, in 2012, and it's a blacksmithing dungeon crawler. It does something that I'm seeing more, and that is basically instead of putting you in the shoes of adventurers, it gives you the job of blacksmithing. You have to heat up ore, melt it, pour the liquid into form, hammer, and assemble a weapon. It sounds boring, but it's actually not. It's like taking a bunch of mini games and combining them together into one fun, coherent game. The game should serve as a blueprint for games that want to implement smithing into them. MMOs could learn from this game. I remember playing Albion Online, and farming was the most boring, grindy, and tedious task you could ever do. Same with crafting. If your games focuses on things like farming or crafting or smithing, then you should do it like Jacksmith. Make mini games out of it. In the case of Albion, I was playing a woodcutter. The problem was that I was just clicking on things. That's boring. If they had implemented a minigame in which you have to press the right button at the right time, similar to quick time events, it would have been less boring. On top of that, it would have been better if they combined the minigames with rewards. The better you play the minigames, the more resources you get. Pretty simple and just like Jacksmith. The better you play the minigames, the higher the quality of the weapons you build, the higher the chance the adventurers succeed in their dungeon crawling. The game is pretty old in internet years, but it seems that people are still playing this game. If you go to the comment section of the game, you will find a person that posts spam basically, but amongst the spam, there are legitimately people commenting on how they like the game. And I understand. I do really understand why they like this game. It's enjoyable. The fact that it holds up until today is a big indicator of how good this game is. Unfortunately, the idea was never expanded. I actually tried to contact the developers of Flipline themselves, but I understand that I don't have the amount of power to pull something like that yet. This is one of the games I would like to review just because of reasons, but not right now. Maybe someday. The last thing on my list is Elephant Quest. This one I rediscovered when I was looking for a game called This Is the Only Level. So it was really random, but as soon as I started the game, I just finished it in one sitting. Yeah, that's how enjoyable the game is. Elephant Quest describes itself as follows. The fight is on. Wooly has taken your precious bowler cap, and now you're on a romp to get it back. Explore the freeform world of 45 various areas in the RPG shooter hybrid. Complete side quests to get power-ups, extra firepower, and experience. Navigate the ridiculous level up tree to become the most powerful elephant in the universe. Yep, that is basically it. If you ever played the Metroidvania, then you will find yourself right at home. You can get through the game in under an hour, so it's pretty short too. That is actually not the most interesting thing about this game, because there seems to be a whole universe around this elephant character, which includes the before mentioned This Is the Only Level, but also Achievement the Game and Loot the Game. This game has less comments than Jacksmith, but it has recent comments, so people are still playing this. It is so interesting to see that those games are still being played, and for this video I searched for Elephant Quest on YouTube and I found this kid, which I will not mention because I don't want anyone to harass him, and he's playing Elephant Quest and recording his screen with a camera. Just takes me right back to 2010. And I have no idea how to segment my videos. Well, here we are at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have more stuff like that and you want to share, please do. I will check it out, hopefully. Since you're all here, I think it's a good time to plug a bunch of stuff that I'm working on, or I already worked on. So on my channel, you find reviews everywhere and interviews. You can just go to playlist and look up that. Watch that, please. I have a podcast now, yeah. If you want to be part of the podcast, you can actually contact me just on Twitter and tell who you are. Maybe we can get in contact and have a nice chat. It's monthly, maybe it's weekly if enough people come around. Who knows? I don't know. Anyways, that's what I'm working on. I have a new series called Early Access Investigation, on which I look at a bunch of early access titles. Not a bunch, actually just one title, and then I look them up and say if I just try to find out if they are being developed on or not, and it's also to highlight them basically. Yeah, and that's what I'm working on. Please check all of that out. I think I do not push enough my stuff. There's something called call to action in marketing, and if you do that, people normally click on your stuff afterwards. Everything is linked in the description or in the channel. You find everything. Just do whatever you want with it. If you have anything you want me to change, I'm ready to receive criticism. I would like to improve my stuff. I'm always like to improve stuff. Yeah, anyways, I'm rambling too much here. This is free form, not scripted. That's why it sounds so bad. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves and have a nice day.